Hey guys, what's up? Today I got my niece Mayson. She's 8 years old and we're gonna show her how to weld today. She has never welded before. She asked me to say, hey, I wanna learn how to weld. So that's what we're gonna do today. So Mayson, are you excited?
Yes.
Yeah? Why do you wanna learn how to weld?
I don't know, I just wanna learn.
Yeah? Yeah, is it something that you think is hard?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah? So you kind of want to learn how to do hard things maybe? Yeah. That's going to be fun. So stay tuned. We're going to get our safety gear on and then we're going to start welding. And we're going to see if Mayson has it in her.
Okay.
So Mayson, we're going to show you the parts of the machine, basically how everything works, and then we'll start welding, okay? So right here is your welder. We're using, this is called the Yes welder. That's just the brand, all right? So this is a MIG welder. So MIG welders are referred to sometimes as even wire feed machines. So how that works, basically we have our ground clamp. So this ground is a piece that just goes on your table and that will help you weld. If you don't have that on your table, you can't weld. And then we have, see the wire right there? They call it a wire feed welder or a MIG welder. That's because the wire just comes out when you pull this trigger and start welding. So basically all we have to do is turn the gas on, turn the machine on, and then we'll basically be ready to weld. We'll just have to dial it in for our material that we're going to be welding, and then we'll be ready to go. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
You excited?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. All right, Mace. So we got the machine set up and it's ready to weld. So what we need to do is get your welding gloves on, your helmet, and your safety glasses. And then we got the machine dialed in, so it should be pretty easy. And then we got your material ready. So all we're gonna do is weld. So let's get your helmet on. You nervous? No? No? Okay, let's do this. So let's run on the piece with some welds on it already first. And we'll just kind of get you dialed in on where you want it. So let's grab the welding gun. Okay, I'm going to kind of shadow you for a minute first to kind of make sure we're doing it how we need to. So you're holding the welding gun, and then when you pull that trigger, it's going to make that noise. All right, so you see all that? You see how that welder's making a puddle?
Yeah.
You just want to make it consistent. You see that?
Yeah.
Pretty easy, huh?
Yeah.
So you just want to make sure that that puddle just stays really consistent. Okay, let go of the trigger. Okay. What'd you think about that for a first shot?
Crazy.
It's kind of weird, huh?
Whoa, it made that?
Yeah, that's what you did right there.
That is crazy.
What do you think? Pretty cool, huh? So let's get you going by yourself for a little bit. And then, so let's get your helmet on. Do you want some thinner gloves?
No.
You like those?
Yeah.
Okay. What's going to be important, so when you're welding, you just want to make sure you're balanced. So what I like to do is I like to rest one hand and then put my other hand over it and then just kind of run my bead. Does that make sense? Okay.
Why does this thing keep going black?
Because it's called an auto darkening helmet. It's designed to do that. So anytime you weld, it's supposed to just go black. Can you see?
Yeah.
Okay. So as long as you can see, so you want to hold your gun where you want to start.
And it keeps going black. And then I can't see.
Okay, let me fix that for you real quick. Okay, this should be better. Okay, so let's get the welding gun out. Okay, let's get you in a position where you could really see what you're doing, so you get closer. And then you're going to want to kind of hold it high just like that. So use this hand to kind of balance you, and then use that hand to pull the trigger. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and start whenever. Okay, you want to, let me kind of help you. So I'm gonna Okay, go slower. Huh? Huh? You okay?
Yeah, how does it stop?
So when you are welding,
Yeah.
you have to like pull it in twice. So once you're done, just click your finger. Does that make sense? See, I mean, look what you did. That's pretty nice. It's not bad at all. So let's just get you more comfortable going on just a blank piece, okay? Okay, don't pull the trigger until you're where you need to be. Okay, get a little closer. Okay. Hold on, don't move so much. You gotta do smaller movements. So you see right there how we're just going back and forth? See that red puddle? So that's called your, there you go. Did you see that? How we were going at the end?
Yeah.
So what you want to do, Mace, it's called a welding motion. So you could take your helmet off for a minute. I'll just show you real quick. So like, say you're welding like this, going down, you just want to kind of make a small movement back and forth and then move your puddle all the way down. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So just kind of weave it back and forth and then make sure that red puddle on the back side stays the same all the way across. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try it. Okay, go a little slower. Not such a fast movement. Go slow. There you go. You see that? You see how you're making that puddle? You're not jumping ahead too fast. Just go nice and slow. What'd you think?
That is crazy.
Kind of cool, huh? So what might help us is if we do it in a joint. So like right here we got a joint, and you could do a bead right in the middle of that. Okay, so you are basically going to weld two pieces together. So you're going to weld this piece to that piece. So your weld needs to go, you see that crack right there?
Yeah.
That line, that's where your weld needs to go. So let's try that. Okay, see that?
Yeah.
It's a little easier to see, huh?
Yeah.
So just move nice and slow and then go halfway on one piece and halfway on another. You see that?
Yeah.
But don't move too much. What'd you think?
That is crazy.
That's cool, huh?
Yeah.
So that one really didn't turn out that bad.
Yeah.
We could shorten your movement. So like, you don't want to move. I'm not gonna pull the trigger. So lift your hood up. So we're not gonna move too far, right?
Yeah.
Just like tighter motions instead of going like way up here and way down there.
Yeah.
Just go like nice and tight. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Let's start on this end. Let's try and finish this. Go all the way across. Okay? Okay, not as big of a movement. Keep pulling it. Keep going. There you go. Nice. Okay, you can let go of it. There you go. That was awesome. Didn't turn out too bad. Those pieces are actually welded together, so it should never break like that. So that's the cool part about welding. You join two pieces that weren't ever together and you make them join together. So, what do you think?
Crazy.
Kind of cool, huh? Let's try and get a really good bead down by yourself. Let's do another one all the way across there. I'm not gonna help guide your hand at all this time though, okay? So get your gun out, your welding gun, okay? And then get your piece and then do a weld all the way across that. Okay, slow down. You need to go back and forth. Just go really slow. Okay, just super, super slow. And then don't make big movements. See that puddle? See that red part? Just make sure it's following you the whole time. Okay, go a little slower. There you go. A little slower. Oh, that's perfect. A little slower. A little slower, Mace. Good job. A little slower. Nice job. Don't get too close with your gun. Okay, Mason. So let's show these guys kind of a close-up. That last bead we ran was a little rough. This is one I've done prior. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show her basically, come hold this gun here, Mace. It's not on, so you don't need to worry. So basically that last one was a little rough. You were kind of going too fast, kind of going like that. So on this one, we need to go nice and slow. Just like that. Back and forth, nice and slow. You feel that? So go to the bottom, to the top of that weld, bottom and back to the top. Just back and forth and work your way down. You want to try that by yourself? You can move a little bit faster. Just a hair. That's looking pretty darn good. Awesome. You get the feel of that? That's kind of how you're going to want to do it when you run the next bead, okay? That looks really good. Okay, go a little slower. See how that red puddle's just following you? Okay, pull your gun away a little bit. You're getting a little too close. So let me show you something real quick. So your welding gun needs to stay about that far away. So almost like a fingernail width away from your metal piece. Does that make sense? Yeah. So if you get too close, you could weld this copper piece. It could stick to your metal, and you don't want that to happen. Okay? So let's do some more practice, and then just make sure your gun's away. You could get it kind of close, but you don't want to get it too close. Okay, a little slower. There you go. Just keep that red puddle following you. Get a little bit closer with your gun. Good job. Nice. How did that one feel? Good. That one was cool. That actually looks pretty darn good. So we're gonna have to get a close-up on all this stuff, but we'll do that here in a minute. Let's get this piece tacked on, and then let's show them how you can make a really good bead. Okay, so I'm gonna tack this real quick. Tack it one more time. Okay, you ready to weld it? So Mace, this one's gonna be super important because we want to get a really nice weld across there, okay? So make sure that puddle's following you all the time, that red puddle. Make sure your gun doesn't get too close, and make sure you have basically an even amount of weld on this bottom piece as you do on the top piece. Does that make sense? Okay, let's see you do it, girl. Okay, go nice and slow. Get it right in the middle of those two pieces. That's how you're gonna weld them together, is going right in the middle. So There you go. Keep going. Got a little bit more left. Nice. Okay, let's do it on the back side. I'm gonna let you do this one by yourself, but watch me. So here, lift your hood up real quick, your welding helmet. So you're just gonna go back and forth right there on the middle. You see that? Are you watching? So go nice and tight right there and go all the way down. Go nice and slow. Make sure that puddle's following you the whole way. Okay? Okay, let's see it. Start right there on the end. Okay, go a little slower. A little slower. Look at that one. That's pretty. What do you think?
Crazy.
That looks good. So let's get a close-up on all these welds and we'll show everybody basically from start to finish how it went. Okay? All right, so Mace, we got our pieces welded. So now we're gonna wash these, we're gonna clean these up with a wire wheel. So this isn't a toothbrush. Don't try and brush your teeth or your hair with it. It might hurt a little bit. Say, come on, man. So let's clean these up. What you're gonna do is basically just hold the piece and then clean them up just with the wire wheel. That one looks awesome, Mace. I'm excited to show everybody that one. Awesome. How's that one coming? That one all done? Yeah, not bad. That'll be all right. Okay, so let's get a close-up on these. Let's show them what you did. So Mace, what do you think about your welds?
I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, did you have fun?
Yeah.
Okay, so this was the start of her welds right there. So you can see I was kind of helping her on these. I was kind of just weaving her back and forth. That's the motion we did. We kind of did a Z motion, just back and forth and back and forth, right? So this one I let her do kind of by herself. She did really good here. Started off kind of rough, but she really figured it out right here. Then we had her start practicing on this piece. This was her second piece. And you could see, you know, she would kind of hurry right here and then she would let it build up pretty big, and then she hurried right here and then she let it build up right there, and then she hurried across here and then she ended right here and kind of got in a hurry there at the end. And then this back side, I let her do, oh, sorry, not that one. This back side here, she did this one. She kind of got excited, and you could see her motion basically went from here, 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 here. So her Z formation wasn't very tight. It was kind of like, wah, wah. But her last one, I was super impressed with. I stopped her for a minute after this one. I said, Mayson, this is what you got to do. So we need to make these a lot tighter. Go back and forth, and we did kind of some dry motions with her welding gun. And this is what she did, right? So I was super impressed. I was like, holy cow. So to go from this right here to this, all from a basic talk. She's a super smart girl. I was like, oh my goodness, that is awesome. So what she did here, she just went back and forth, but she did it really tight. and she did it super good, just going back and forth like that, and she did awesome. So that was her best one from today. We'll probably make some more videos, but overall she did really good on this one. All right, so we got Welding Wonder Mayson. Mayson, we're just wrapping up your welds, and I was super impressed. Being your first time, your dad's a heck of a welder, but you've never welded before, right? So that was really fun. It was really cool. What did you think about welding?
I mean, it was a little hard, but really fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you hope to do it some more?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot you could do with it, even as a kid.
Yeah.
You could do projects. You can make, for Valentine's Day, you can make something for your mom or for your boyfriend if you have one. I hope you don't have one. But that's the cool part about welding is there's so much that you could do with it, and you could do a lot of cool stuff with it. So that's the fun part. What would you say was the hardest part?
Probably the weaving.
The weaving part? Yeah. It is kind of hard, and sometimes you get excited and you want to go really fast, but the important thing about it is just to go slow, right? So in this video, she did have a little bit of trouble. She was getting excited. Obviously, it was her first time. Fundamentals aren't necessarily there, but we were kind of teaching it as we went. So when we were doing our basically V formation that we were doing, she would kind of jump ahead too fast and get excited. So I just told her to slow it down and go nice and easy. And the first few were a little rough. She was kind of figuring out like how to run a good bead, how to run a solid, consistent bead. And she did. She really picked it up, and she really, on the very last one, we broke it down. I was like, Mayson, let's slow down a little bit. You're getting a little bit excited. And her being the smart girl she is, she did an awesome last bead. So Mayson, what would you have to say to people that maybe think they're too young to learn how to weld?
That young or old, no matter what, you probably could weld.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You didn't think it was way too hard?
No.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I always tell people if I can do it, you can do it too. So keep that in mind as maybe you're thinking about learning how to weld. Like think about Mayson. It was her first time welding. Some of the welds were a little rough, but the one she ended on was phenomenal. And so, don't let that get to you. If I could do it, you can do it too. And Mayson did an awesome job today. So Mayson, thanks for joining me. And we hope that we can do some more videos with you in the future. Okay, awesome. Good job today.